Alex Neil, we'll start with the big talking point of the game, the Cameron Jerome disallowed goal. What's your view on that incident?
Yeah, well, I've seen it back quite a few times. I thought it should have stood. I think the lad's sort of wrong side of Cameron. I think if the lad's in front of him and Cameron's foot's coming over to potentially hit him in the face, then I could understand why it's disallowed. I actually thought it was disallowed for a handball. You know, that's how I wasn't remonstrating too much at the side. And then when I found out it was for a high foot, I think 9 times out of 10 they're given, which is disappointing because I think at that stage of the game, if it goes 2 each, I thought we were the team really trying to push to get a goal, and obviously it changed the complexion of the match.
It was actually an incredibly good finish, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a fantastic finish for Cameron. You know, he's got up and he's managed to swivel and put it into the net. So, yeah, disappointing. But obviously the other goals we conceded as well, we need to make sure that that's limited because they were too sloppy.
Overall, did you deserve something from that game?
I think we played worse than win, if I'm being honest. I think certainly for the first half I thought totally dominant, and then obviously they got a goal right before half time. But I thought we had 2 or 3 good opportunities, certainly in that first 30 minutes. Ones at this level you've got to convert and take.
But particularly the manner of that second goal, that it just doesn't help, does it, when you can see the goal from a set piece?
No, really disappointing. We switched off, didn't recover for the second ball that came into the box. Don't actually think it was meant to head her down, but we've got to respond. We've got enough bodies in that area of the pitch, and we didn't respond quick enough, and ultimately the ball ended up in the net.
Yeah, and overall, you mentioned it there, though, there were some very good passages of play. You didn't look like a side that was overawed by the Premier League.
No, not at all. I thought, certainly for the first half, I thought in general play we were the better side. You know, I mean, I think we dominated the game, dominated most of the possession, but the bits that matter is the bits that, having that dominance, you've got to convert into goals. We didn't do that, and we got punished at the other end.
Nathan Redmond came on and scored. He scored at Wembley as well. How hard a decision was it to not pick him from the start today?
Yeah, it was difficult, but I just think leading up to the game, it didn't look sort of ready to start as much as others, and the fact that he came back a little bit later as well. But I thought he added to us when he came on the pitch. I didn't think we had enough runners off the ball in the first half, and we tried to add that second half, and we did. But as we say, goals change games, and we didn't get the one that should have stood.
Overall, have you learnt anything about what it's going to take to grind out the points in the Premier League this season, just from today's game?
Yeah, I think I've learned the harsh version of the Premier League, which is you can dominate and play well, but if you don't score when you're on top, and you don't defend well enough at times, it's going to cost you, and I think that's the story of the game.
And I suppose the inevitable question is, does it heighten the desire for you to sign a new striker? You've talked about taking chances.
No, the desire to add to the squad's been there before this game, and it continues to be there after this game.
And you haven't got a number 9 in the squad number, so I think people are reading between the lines there and saying, well, clearly that shows you're after a striker. Is that a fair comment?
Yeah, but we're after a forward. We're after a forward player. So, yeah, I've not had that fact at any stage. We're after a forward player. So that search continues.
Thanks, Andy. Cheers. Thank you.